I see a lot of people, they able to slide outside, right? Nigga, I want to slide too now, you know? Because I feel like all this disrespect that I've been taking, I just been like, man, bruh, anybody else to do me like this, I'm swinging them. So why does that change now? So now with every fighter that's out there, you feel like you can just disrespect Buck. Forget it, bro. I want to swing on everybody now. Now I'm sliding on everybody in the UFC. You disrespect me, you say something wild about my name, you call me a what? A boy? I'm gonna knock you out, man.
Nah, like
you better get secured.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. I'm Edrick Dillard. We got Joaquin Buckley joining us from Washington. Joaquin, what are you doing in Washington?
Man, look, bro, you know, right now, we just settled back, bro, and you know we ain't got no fight coming up. So I thought, man, this would be the best time to really kind of just move around, kind of learn some new tools, new techniques and stuff like that. So I really popped out to Washington, man, to really kind of get some work in. But crazy enough, while I was out here in Washington, Seattle, whatever, find out, bro, Mighty Mouse out here. You know, and got to link up with him. You know, we didn't do anything. We didn't go to the gym or nothing like that. He had his little time with his kids and everything, but I just wanted to show some love, man, kind of just dap up the GOAT himself, man. So really, you know what I'm saying, came out there, bro, and here to Seattle and really just had a good time, bro, making some memories, bro, and just getting to know the GOAT himself, Mighty Mouse.
There we go. Different locations, same show. If you're new here, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you like and share this with some friends, okay? Let's get into the show. Last night, the UFC was at the Apex for Neil Magny versus Brandon Royval. Did you tap in, Joaquin?
You know, I had to be tapped in. And, you know, not only was I tapped into the last fight on the ESPN card, but, you know, I did something a little different. You know, right now, I see that we heavy on my social media, Instagram. We went live on TikTok, you know. It was me, my manager, Shagun, and Todd, you know, really just, you know, just being with the fans, bro, having fun with them. We doing a little push-up challenge. You know how we get down, man. A little push-up challenge, man. Taking a little deck of cards, right? Every little suit that we did, man, we just playing around. And as we watching the fights, right? As anything like ain't going on or like they go to commercial break, bro, we go ahead and put in some work. But just getting back onto just the fights though, right? With Neil Magny and Brandon Royval, you know, I thought for real, stylistically, you know what I'm saying? It was a fun matchup, right? You had somebody like Brandon Royval, who's pretty slick on the feet, you know, uses good combinations, but use great footwork, right? But then you got Manel Kape, right, who's very explosive, you know what I'm saying, likes to fight inside and like to throw bombs, you know. I knew it was a good chance for, you know, Brandon Royval, you know what I'm saying, to get finished, but at the same time, I thought he'd be good enough to kind of keep himself safe, right? But shoot, you know what I mean? We see that, you know, what Manel Kape was able to do, literally what, in the first round, you know, got him up, pressed him up against the cage, had Brandon Royval pinned there and hit him with a nice little crazy right hook right on the chin. And, you know, my man just hit that on and off button. Clap on, clap on. He kept waking up and going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. And, you know, it is what it is, my boy. I think it was Mark Smith or Herb Dean.
Maybe it's Herb. I don't remember.
It may have been her. It may have been her slid in and got to recovery, you know what I'm saying, and made sure to go ahead. And once he had woke back up, he stayed woke. He didn't put him back to sleep. And, you know, Brandon Royval was chill, you know. But I think it was a good fight between both of those guys. And I really feel that, you know, Neil Kape, man, with everything that he got going on and on the streak that he on now, especially getting that finish, I believe what he said before about trying to get that title shot, I think that's going to be a good call out right now.
No, for sure. It was an interesting fight. Like you said, Royval's just so good with the grappling and distance. For him to be as you know, the longer, taller fighter, I thought he might have been able to keep himself safe. But Cap, he's one of the only guys at that weight class really with that knockout power. I think he already has the record for most knockouts there. If not number one, he's tied for number one. So I knew that probably would be an issue for Royval. But you know, you just never know until you actually see it. Cap's just so explosive. He caught him up against the cage, like you said, that right hand landed, and it was pretty much it. I thought it could have continued a bit longer, but Royval looked to get up, and he still was on shaky legs. So I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's how we're closing out, you know, the year with another knockout.
Right.
And you know, that title picture, I think he just kind of cemented himself to clearly be the number one contender there. You know, it was kind of up for the taking. I think Albazi and Horiguchi are supposed to fight, and you know, I think that's what makes sense, especially if Pantoja is going to be on the sideline for a bit. So it was good. Not really much anything to break down. You know, both of them were just kind of keeping their distance, playing it safe, and Kape's one of those guys, once he gets on the inside, he's so explosive and powerful. You know, sometimes it just takes one shot.
That's it. 100%. 100%.
So,
what you think about the the post-fight interview that he had?
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I was so tired, boy. I clicked right up off. So Phil.
So you hear nothing about the diapers, nigga? I'm gonna change the diapers. None of that.
I ain't hear nothing. Look, for the Apex card, and I'm not gonna diss everybody who fought, tried their best, fought their hearts out, but that really wasn't the dopest card for me in the first place, and for me to take the time to stay up and watch it in the first place,
hey, you keep it in the buck. You keep it in the buck, so I can't be mad at that. Because to be honest with you, with that being the last fight on the ESPN card, that definitely was not, the one that had a historic, moment build up behind it. Like I said, no. You had a couple good ones, you know what I'm saying, that really showed out, right? But literally, that's only like two names that I can mention that really kind of made it worth watching, last night. But other than that, man, everybody else, man, was like, boy, they put you to sleep if you watching that thing.
No, it reminded me, like, because they just want to give us something for the end of the year. You go to your parents, you're like, hey, can I get a little money? They're like, here you go, and they just give you like a little couple dollars, you know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right,
here's a little something for you, But, it wasn't really that top heavy of a card. And then Amanda Lemos, I forget who she's supposed to fight. That fight ended up falling through. So it was already kind of a shaky card, and then for that to fall out, whatever. But, they fought hard. There were some good performances on it besides that. But tell me about what Kape was talking about with the diapers. He got a baby on the way?
Talking about some diapers, man. He gonna attack the diapers. I don't know if it was like a language barrier or whatever. He missed what he was trying to say. But Manel Kape pretty much talking about, Joshua Van taking this opportunity, right, at that belt. But at the same time, though, nigga, you fucked up your own opportunity, Kape. I don't know if you forget, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because he fell out of a fight. I don't know if you remember. But regardless, though, with Joshua Van, getting that opportunity to now, him being a world champion, Manel Kape think he can, take that belt from old, Joshua Van. And Joshua Van being a young buck, a young bull, you know what I'm saying? He said he gonna change his diapers because he is daddy.
Okay. I got you. That makes a little bit more sense.
100%. But
I thought you had a kid
though,
on the way or something.
Right, but regardless, though, my biggest thing is just, it makes sense. They still probably got a couple other fights for Joshua Van, which Ty Sure is definitely gonna be a good one. But Kape, I feel like he done enough now, especially with knocking out Brandon Royval, to stake his claim to fight for the belt and the title as well.
And that's not going to be a boring fight either. As far as Tatsuro Taira's probably be more of a grappler. Exchange and, him trying to get the takedowns and, submit Joshua Van or, get some good ground and pound, versus, if Van and Kape fight, that's going to be a banger. They're going to be swinging it out.
Right. It's going to be on the feet, 100%.
So 100%. I don't really care either way, but I think that makes a lot of sense, especially him, just being as explosive with all the knockouts. I forget, he did somebody dirty last time, too. I forget who he knocked out.
I can't remember the name, but yeah, but you got to check that left nipple, man.
Hey. Hey,
I ain't saying? We gotta check that, big fella. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
No. You talking about the test?
Huh?
You talking about a test? I'm pretty
Somebody
sure.
Gotta get tested. Somebody gotta get tested.
I think
I got plenty of them tests.
I thought he already failed one of them tests before. Maybe I'm tripping. I thought he failed one already. If he didn't, if I'm lying, I'm flying. My bad. But yeah. But I think he already did his time. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If he clean, he clean.
I guess he's trying to do some more time. But that's real though, shit. You know what I mean? It's a reason why he got the most knockouts and the most finishes in the flyweight division. That's what I'm just saying. Barry Bonds is in the bitches too.
You said it, not me, man. That's all I will say.
Nigga, you can be scared if you want to, nigga.
I'm not scared. Look, I'm not scared of nothing. I just already told you. I'm pretty sure he failed the test. I don't like lying on people. I didn't look this up before the show, but I'm pretty sure he failed the test previously. I'm not here to hate, Starboy, Manil Kape.
Man,
He
shout
did.
out to you, man. Keep
Yeah.
knocking the fools out. Nigga, we both got titties, nigga. I just got them on, you know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't got
They're
no
on both
itty bitties,
sides.
you know what I'm saying?
It's more than just a nipple. You got like a 360 joint. But anyway, this a family show. We're gonna move off of that. Giga Chikadze took on Kevin Vallejos, I believe. Kevin Vallejos. Man, Giga's been struggling a little bit going back. I want to spend time speaking about the winner, Vallejos, with that a beautiful knockout on Giga Chikadze. What'd you make of that competition? What do you think about the fight?
Fuck all that. Who is that kid? Who is he? I never seen him before. No. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I never seen him before. And like when I caught the fight, like I caught like the tail end of it, and I just seen Giga take a spinning back fist, boom, Giga fall down and just get pounded out, and then dude just get up. I'm like, who is that nigga?
I've never seen Buddy fight a day in my life. I don't know if he's been fighting for the UFC for a while.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, this
like that's where I was more impressed. I'm like, who this random ass dude from out of nowhere and just knocked out Giga like that?
Look,
right?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know that I've ever seen him fight before, but I was thoroughly impressed, man. He did a good job. The first round, I think Giga was kind of getting his rhythm, doing what he does. Sometimes I feel like Giga spams kicks, though. You know what I mean? He doesn't always set them up, but he's one of those guys who is rare at MMA who's like a kick-first fighter instead of using his punches really to set up the kicks. He's like primarily a kicker. Which you don't see. But, I think the range was giving Vallejos some problems. But in that second round, he knew he had to go downhill and chase him down. He started taking more calculated risks. And that setup for that spinning back fist was beautiful because, sometimes I feel like people don't understand just kind of distance management when you're putting somebody on the cage, not just cutting people off. But he basically made it where Giga could have chose to come forward and crash, which we knew Giga didn't want to do because he was evading and trying to keep his distance. If he wanted to go to the left side, then you're going directly into the power, and you have very little space that way. So he had to go right. And with him knowing he had to go right, he set up the spin perfectly timed, great setup. That was beautiful. I don't know who I didn't know him before this, but I know him now.
We know him now.
we know him now. But for Giga, I think Giga's lost 4 out of his last 5. Somebody who was at the top of the division doesn't seem that long ago. What do you feel Giga needs to do to get himself back into title contention or putting his career back on the right track?
How old is Giga, man? How old is Giga?
I think he's getting up there.
Yeah, man. And it's okay because I can't be the person to be like, man, it's time to hang it up, especially if you're coming off of L, right? But man, as fighters, as all fighters, right? Once we start to get up there and we start to lose the people that we ain't never seen before, these young bulls, man, it's time. It's time to let it go. Because it wasn't the first round. But the second round, early finish, right? Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, it was in the first. I think it was in the first half. I can look it up.
Yeah, but either way, it's just a real definition of like, what I'm saying, the whole thing time is undefeated, right? And I think Giga, is a great practitioner when it comes to the feet. You can teach these young bulls now, right?
Right.
You can be a coach. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to take no good CTE, no good knockout, get highlighted. You go ahead and move about your way. Matter of fact, you can reach out to this young bull, help him out in his career and just show him, what to do in order to get to that type.
You're a better man than me. You knock me out like that, I ain't helping you with shit. I'm not giving you no directions. I can't give you the time of day. I
hope the same thing happened to that big ass dude.
I can't give you the time of day. I ain't got no watch for you. Look, you knock me out like that. Fuck that. But
no. That's how they do. Yeah.
No, but you're right. There's more for Giga outside of mixed martial arts, I'm sure, especially with his unique style. I know a lot of people was, from what I hear, use Giga, for training camps for, guys who are really good at, those kicks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so, he has a lot of insight, especially for him having such an interesting and tricky style. So there's other things outside, but, for him to lose to somebody, to give Vallejos, his flowers, he was 17-1. So that kid, obviously has been beating people. I just never heard of him. Just because we never heard of you doesn't mean you're not good. So, but
He definitely made an impact with that fight for
Definitely. Look, I'm not gonna lie, we ain't gotta cover all of these. But you mentioned one specifically that you wanted to talk about, and I'm about to butcher
sure.
buddy
Casper the
name.
Ghost. Okay, yeah.
Again, you said it, not me. I'm not gonna pick on him for his complexion. You know what I mean?
And I ain't picking on him, but he knew he could have picked some better shorts. He knew he could have picked some better shorts, bro.
So y'all, they don't just give y'all shorts. You have the option to pick what you want, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know this, but
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
For context for the people at home who don't know. Let me see if I get this individual.
It's like it starts with an M.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Costa took on Morgan Charrière. I probably butchered both of them names, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Now, they was messing up his name too. Laura Stanko said some crazy whatever. She didn't pronounce the name right either. Anyway, first round TKO by Costa. We just gonna stick to his last name.
I like that.
But beautiful head kick. You mentioned Barry Bonds earlier. It sounded like Barry Bonds hit a home run. When he kicked Charrière in the head, it was boom.
And look. And I was watching it live on the TikTok, right? Matter of fact, follow TikTok, Buckley Madoff, right? We're gonna be going live a lot more frequently in the AM and during fights and stuff. But anyway, though, watching the fight, and you already knew before all that shit happened, before that knockout, all them fights was lame. You know that. I'm about to get put to sleep on all them fights, right? And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, man, like bro, I wish just something would happen. And shit, boy, heard my wish. Whop! And dude had his guard up. Dude was covered up like this. Foot landed on the hand when he blocked it. Still didn't matter. That's how much force that dude kicked him with. And then when dude woke up, and you know what I'm saying, and that Mark Smith, I think that was Mark Smith this time. You know what I'm saying? And he stopped the fight. Buddy woke up like he seen a ghost.
I thought you said he was a ghost. I thought you said he was Casper. Shit. Is what it is.
It's 100% though. Like that kick and the way that he threw it, flawless. The snap, like the rotation and the snap on the kick, bro, was perfect. And like I said, it was so powerful that it went through the guard and sliced buddy like butter.
No, yeah, it was a beautiful head kick. It happened very early in the first round. I think 1:14 seconds, if I'm correct. I think both of them, had similar styles being, that kickboxer style. And, Costa was able to, just find that perfect shot. For me, going backwards, he had his hand up, but, obviously just couldn't get it out the way. So for you, do you prefer to block the head kick with one hand, or do you like to come across, to try to prevent that?
I ain't getting connected at all with that jump. That type of kick right there, you can't even bro. I'm moving out the way.
He tried.
I'm not even in the way of that kick.
Yeah.
I'm out of there.
You say you put a Casper, okay?
100%. Or exorcism.
Somebody got exercised. Yeah. Any other fights that really stuck out to you on this card? Let me just shout out a couple winners. Bobby Green got back in the win column.
No. Matter of fact, no. Stop. Let's talk about the Bobby Green. What's your thoughts on the Bobby Green fight? Bobby Green and Gibson.
From what aspect?
The fight.
It was all right. It was okay.
Nah, man, fuck that. Bobby Green won and ain't did shit.
He was coaching, I felt like. No, come here. No, stay your ass right here. Like, that shit was wild. It was more talking than fighting shit. For me, and like I said, I don't like to give notes on my thoughts of the process of how to beat guys. But with Bobby Green, I think it's really interesting. Let me look at the young Lance Gibson Jr. For Lance Gibson, I think he was a little shell-shocked. I think he took the fight on extremely short notice. It's a big opportunity, your first fight in the UFC, if I'm correct in that regard. And you're going against Bobby Green, somebody with a wealth of experience, a big personality, guy with a lot of knockout power as well, right? So I think that the moment was very big for him. But for Bobby Green, I think a lot of people don't realize, obviously he fights with his hands extremely low. The more action and activity that you have, you increase the probability of him making a mistake. And you've seen Bobby Green get knocked out before due to those reasons. Because if you don't have your hands down, if you have your hands down and I have my hands up and I throw longer combinations, the odds and probability are on my side for me to be able to connect while you're just using head movement and footwork to try to evade. Because if you don't move correctly, if you dip or duck the wrong direction and I throw something good, well, there's a good chance that I'm going to connect. And I think that Gibson just didn't utilize that strategy enough. His coaches were calling for straights and, combinations down the pipe, but it just doesn't really matter. It's just activity. I think that's where you get a Bobby Green. And it seemed like Bobby was able to kind of coast. I don't know if Gibson was a little nervous, a little shell-shocked, but that was really the story of the fight for me.
Okay. You said that's Gibson's first fight in the UFC?
I think so. I've never seen yet again.
I know. I give you that. I ain't never seen him. If that's his first fight, that's his last fight too. That's on my mom. That boy ain't do nothing. Bobby was asking to get knocked out that night. You already know what I'm saying. Bobby was acting like that. Like you said, come on, knock me out. Come on, do something. Throw the hook. Look. You see? Get it. And Gibson just wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't pull that trigger, man. It was a very awkward fight in my eyes because, like you said, man, Bobby Green does a lot of things, unfortunately, that leads to him getting exposed and getting knocked out. And which is crazy, Bobby Green is a way better fighter than what he shows. That's the wild part, right?
No, yeah, he's good.
And, with Gibson and this young bull, whoever he might be, you know what I'm saying, little Canadian brother, you played yourself. Yeah, you played yourself out of a win. You literally was given a fight and a fighter that was willing to give you everything that you needed to have in order to have a highlight victory. And that's crazy work to me.
I mean, like I said, for Bobby Green with all the antics, I don't know if he does all of that to just be entertaining, to stand out.
I think it's just the entertainment part. I think it really is.
Because I think if he just utilized a little bit of, blocks, I think his win percentage.
Because let me put it like this then, right? And I'm talking to Bobby. And Bobby, hey, come on the Brick Brother podcast, man, and explain yourself, because I really need to know. If you really felt like Buddy wasn't on your level, why couldn't you get Gibson up out of there?
Hey, great. No, it's a good question.
Yeah. Like, why was it the fact that you walking them down with your hands down, but you're not throwing no combinations?
That is a very good point, because you put it on a UFC newcomer to show up and show out when I felt like if you have somebody in that predicament, then being a little gunshot, right? That's when I'm gonna overload you. Like, you already giving me the body language that you don't necessarily feel like you're confident. I'm going to look to take that confidence away from you right away. And for Bobby Green to do all the antics, he didn't really live up to it. I think Gibson actually in the middle of the fight was like, damn, he ain't really for the throw nothing, so fuck it. I'm just going to walk for it, see if I can get a takedown. And, it wasn't the greatest fight, but it is what it is. Bobby Green, needed that win, and I respect it, But yeah, come on the Brick Brothers podcast.
Come on the Brick Brother pod, man. We gotta talk about that.
You want to talk about the Neil Magny one a little bit?
Yeah, man. I really don't though, but we're gonna talk about it. Come on, because that's my weight class. That's my weight class, so we gotta talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
That was when I paid attention to.
But people gonna be thinking I'm just trying to bully niggas, but I'm just trying to keep it real. Like, Neil Magny, he just getting a check now. He just getting a check now. You know that. We're not gonna do that right now. We're not gonna do that, bro.
We're not gonna do what?
Neil Magny, anytime he get into the octagon, it's just get paid, bro. It ain't to try to win.
No.
It ain't trying to level up.
I'm on Magny's side, right? I'm gonna take Magny's side. He was on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Mike Mallet, right? And he beat Jake Matthews. You know what I'm saying?
Debatable.
Stop playing with him. You know what's crazy about Neil Magny? I feel like he has. Did they say he has a record for most welterweight wins?
He does actually.
So you gotta put some respect on Magny's name, man. You know what I'm saying? Legendary.
Besides them 2 names you named, nigga, name them other wins, nigga.
That's a good motherfucking question. That's a good question. But
that's a good ass question.
No. All jokes to the side. I think Magny is one of those fighters. I think if he feels otherwise, no disrespect, but I think for Magny at this stage of his career, probably, we know he'll never be a champion. But Magny has the skills to compete with, most of the top 25-ish in the world. And, if you think Magny's sweet, then I think he can give you problems. But that kind of gatekeeper. I hate to say that, but that's kind of what Magny is for the
No,
UFC.
it's no, he not ranked no more, so he ain't the starter pack no more. But you know what I'm saying? He that starter pack to get a win now. Starter pack to get a win. Yeah. That's Neil Magny.
You say a lot of people got Magny in their in
Oh,
their resume.
100%. Michael Morales,
Yeah.
Ian Gary,
Yep.
Shavkat,
Yep.
Prates.
Yep.
Now I could go on for days, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got a lot of people that got that on the resume right there. Mm-hmm.
And for the other fighter, what'd you make of his performance?
Nigga, I was trying to get Neil Magny on my shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I know this. I know. You said, what's some good names? I'm like, Neil Magny.
What you about to say, though?
But for the other fighter, what'd you make of his performance?
I don't even know who that boy is. I know he came from Bellator. I know he came from Bellator. Bellator got trashed. You know what I'm saying? They deleted Bellator like a motherfucker. So I know he now over here, in the UFC. So he said he looking at all the welterweight fighters, man. So come on with it. Let's see what he got.
Yeah, I wish he would have called a name. You know what I'm saying? You beat Magny. That do kind of get you, like you said, he
better call your shot.
Has been in the starter pack, realm before. You know what I'm saying? That does get you a little bit in the packing order. I wish he would have called somebody, but shout out to I can't even pronounce his name. Like I said, I be butchering these names. My apologies, guys. Yaroslav, I don't even know how to say that, but yeah, shout out to you though.
Shout out to you, big fella. Welcome to the welterweight division.
There we go. Well, like I said, this is the end of an era. We can spend a little time just on that. ESPN no more, Paramount, and what that kind of looks like. What I am curious about, what is the rest of the programming going to look like? Because on ESPN, they seem to have more things than just obviously the pay-per-views and the fight nights. Are they still going to continue on with some of the other stuff? What does that look like in the future?
Like what example? Like what other stuff?
Contender Series is one of the things on there, right? What else they got?
UFC, BJJ, yeah, all that stuff. All that stuff moving to Paramount.
Yeah. Okay, some of the regional stuff too. I'm just curious what that looks like.
Oh, they let that go. So let's talk about it. So with ESPN, hey, thanks ESPN for definitely putting on some of the best broadcasting, you know what I mean, and being able to really put us on a platform and being able to stream our fights, even myself, because yet again that takes people that work on that board in order to put my face out there, right, with my kick. And every time they used to show, a UFC Fight Night or whatever, they were streaming my kick every single time. And, I'm just blessed for that, and a lot of people got eyes on that just from that small clip. And I really feel like with that move from ESPN to Paramount, I think it's major because you talk about the entertainment business, right? You talk about, movie deals, you talk about commercials, you talk about TV shows and all these different things, man. I really feel like it's a good move for not only the UFC, but for fighters, right? And for fighters that know how to be entertaining, fighters that know how to be flashy, and fighters that's good on camera and good on the mic. I think that, Paramount is going to see the potential and the talents within the UFC division and really try to pull up, some of the young bulls and the young bucks, right, to help promote, whether that's a movie, commercial, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and get us in there. And that's what's going to make us UFC fighters household names now. Right? Because not only are we going to be on Paramount, but we're going to be on network television, right, with CBS. So that means you're going to have the old heads in the retirement home, somebody's grandma watching UFC fights, you know what I'm saying? Because she ain't doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, she cleaning out her dentures and shit like that, and she said somebody gets spent around. Like, so it's good that we're going to be so what's the word I'm looking for? Exposed, right, to a lot of new fans and a lot of new eyes, right, that get to experience what the UFC is, and I'm happy to be a part of it now.
There we go. Yeah, end of an era. I wish they would have ended it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying, instead of the Apex, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying. A bigger send off, but they got some bangers on the horizon for 2026. So yeah, we can get into some other stuff. Your boy Jamahal found himself in a little bit of online beef. I don't even know what to make of it. Him and Jedrzejczyk. What are your thoughts on that back and forth and that interaction between them. Jan Blachowicz got into it. I saw Mike Perry end up commenting about, you guys sticking together. You know what I'm saying? So just give me your thoughts.
I mean, well, we're going to keep it short and sweet, you know what I mean? Because, I think people are making it more than what it really should be. But with that being said, yeah, I'm going to give you my little 2 cents. What I believe it is, girl, Joanna just got a little too much in her system. You know what I'm saying? She was going off that little devil's nectar, and she was just reminded how she didn't get piped down that night. You know what I'm saying? And when she seen Jamahal and just knew about, homegirl who he was in a relationship with, she was a little jealous. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? She was a little jealous and she was a little mad, and she, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to fight for Jamahal. She wanted to fight for that pipe.
Crazy work.
You can call it crazy work, but that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, once it got to a situation where Joanna just started threatening Jamal's girl, he was like, look, you need to calm that down, because if you even put your hands on my girl, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Which I don't believe Jamahal said anything wrong when it comes to protecting somebody that he loved and cared about, right? And at the end of the day, regardless if she a female or not, you're not going to threaten what's mine. And I'm going to calm you down already by letting you know what the consequences going to be if you do whatever action, right? And obviously, you'll want to come to change. You going to do what? Or you going to knock me out? So she changed her tune after that, right?
Of course.
But the reason why I even spoke up and spoke out about it, regardless of if I even knew what was happening, is because I already knew who Jamahal is. So you're not going to tell me about a certain individual when I know who they are, right? When I've actually hung out with Jamahal, spoke with Jamahal, you know what I'm saying? Chill with Jamahal, all these type of stuff. Like, I know this type of character that he has, that he'll never do that type of stuff. So when they try to paint the picture as my man being a womanizer or a woman beater, I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already knowing, even if I ain't got the whole story, I know exactly what's going on. Just about Joanna posting that little video, you know what I'm saying? Well, I have to defend for the people that can't speak up for themselves, and for women that don't want to get violated or beaten. I'm like, nah, bitch, I know exactly what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. She's trying to do some PR work. Nah.
I like the impersonation. You show some talent.
A little bit. Hey, like
you're
I said,
gonna be good on Paramount. You're gonna be good on Paramount. No, for sure.
But it's the truth, though.
No, I get my little 2 cents as well. It just seemed like it was a little messy, the whole situation. DMs being leaked. I don't think this really needed to come out to the world for any reason. Y'all, those two seem like they had a fun back and forth at one particular point in time. Sometimes it doesn't happen. You don't always succeed on every mission, whether that was on his side or her side. Sometimes you just miss an opportunity, and they could have just left it at that. As far as his comments about protecting, his lady or whatever, I think what some people probably don't realize, the gap between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Jamahal Hill is equal, or if not greater, than the gap between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Jamahal Hill's girlfriend. So she can't defend herself in that situation either. I don't believe Jamahal really wanted to do that, but you're just letting her know, like, do not put your hands on her. I don't think he was going to do that, because if you, Joaquin, go up and go fight some regular average guy, right? Some regular dude, can he defend himself? Is he going to be able to take care of himself? The answer is absolutely not. So if Joanna was to try to put her hands on a civilian, I think it's the same sort of scenario. So I think Jamahal was just being proactive and just trying to let her know, like, we're not letting that slide. I don't think he was actually going to do anything. Number 2, we did get something funny out of it. Jan Blachowicz said, he want to step up and he wants to fight Jamahal Hill. I think that fight makes a lot of sense at this stage of both of their careers. That'd be interesting to watch. You know what I'm saying? 2 former champions get into it. You know what I'm saying? And as far as, Mike Perry's comments, sometimes...
No. Jan Blachowicz over here trying to save a hoe. Nigga, nah, bro. Nah, get on somewhere, Jan. Nigga, you ain't slick, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Captain Jan to the rescue. What you mean? I'm for it. I'm not mad at Jan Blachowicz. He said Polish power over here. You know what I mean? But we need more unity in general. You know what I'm saying? You had Jamal's back. He got his Polish people back. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I got my brother back then. 100%. Let's go, Jamal.
So recently I saw, we had a post that we put up. I believe it was on our post, wasn't it?
Yeah. Probably. I don't know yet.
Yeah,
It was one of them.
it might have been your page. I don't really be online like that. You know, I put my stuff on the internet and I get off immediately. But you know, Shavkat seemed to have some words for you. I guess you know you've been calling Shavkat out.
Yeah.
Just want to get a fight. You know,
Yeah.
it's the fight business. You know, he doesn't seem to have a dance partner. You're just asking him to compete, and he has some words for you. You want to get into that?
I believe he said from well, what did he say? Oh, black boy, you get beat up. Yeah.
Okay.
But we gonna keep it real. That wasn't Shavkat. You know what I'm saying? You know that boy don't speak a lick of English. That's his man. What his name? Saeed, whatever his name is, whatever his manager, his interpreter, you know, coming out there and speaking for him. But he don't realize like that dude gonna get you knocked the fuck out, Shavkat. And you keep playing and keep being disrespectful. Cause he been saying a lot of just disrespectful stuff from the black boy, calling me a kid and just like really just acting like, okay, you want to treat me like a kid, treat me like a child. All right, man, I'm gonna show you the man that I am when I see you, right? Because this one thing I will have to say about a lot of these different fighters, these foreign fighters that come over here. They think they can just treat us any type of way, man, talk to us any type of way, bro. And the thing is, you know, I see a lot of people, they able to slide outside, right? Nigga, I want to slide too now, you know? Because I feel like all this disrespect that I've been taking, I just been like, man, bruh, anybody else to do me like this, I'm swinging them. So why does that change now? So now with every fighter that's out there, you feel like you can just disrespect, but forget it, bro. I want to swing on everybody now. Now I'm sliding on everybody in the UFC. You disrespect me, you say something wild about my name, you call me a what? A boy? I'm gonna knock you out, man.
No, I like
you.
this.
You better get secured.
No, I like this. They say you have a doppelganger. You living out, you know, his moniker. You know, Aaron the Plumber.
Aaron Plumber ain't got shit on me, nigga.
Nah, you say you gotta get up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? They just stop playing on you. And you know, my thing with Shavkat, I don't understand why you mad people want to fight you. You haven't been fighting no way. It is what it is.
100%.
All that talking black boy is what it is. I don't know what he's talking about. Either say you want to fight, you don't want to fight.
And that's the thing, right? We keeping it serious, right? Like all that stuff that you talking about me being delusional, all that stuff about me not being that good, all that stuff about, you know what I'm saying? Yet again, like you said, black boy and you get beat up, show the world that. Come and beat this black boy up.
But
no. Come and beat this black boy up if it's so easy, right? Come and get this easy check. Because also you can show the world what Kamaru Usman couldn't do, right? And you can finish me. You can knock me out, right? Then come on and show that. And then guess what? That puts you right back into the conversation because, bro, all you need is a fight, my guy. It don't matter who you fight. It don't matter who you step into the cage with or the octagon with. They just want to see you active. You're not finna come back and fight for no belt off of some inactivity, boy.
No,
come on now.
No, that's pure facts. Also, too, you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to get into it, and, you know, I ain't trying to be spoiler over here, but I keep it honest on this show. Shavkat really ain't got the best resume. Like, if we just really looking at it, like, who he fought.
Come on, run it down. Run it down.
He beat Aaron Gary in a boring-ass fight. Let's be honest. That last fight didn't live up to expectation, but he won. Finished Jeff Neal, and that's all I can recall off the top of my head. You said Neil,
Boy.
You said Neil
Wonder Boy.
Oh yeah.
Was struggling with Wonder Boy.
He did beat Wonder Boy. I give him credit for that. But I think
ain't nobody else there.
No, but my point being is, Sean Brady, who may be a 55er, but still, 170 at the time. That's what he said it himself. I'm not. Sean Brady, you got Leon, you got Usman, you got Prates, you got Morales, you got yourself. He hasn't really beaten any of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now that some of the old guard has kind of fallen off, the Gilbert Burnses and
right.
et cetera, the Covingtons. Now you gotta right. you gotta fight somebody.
Right, and I'm gonna bring it here because I talked to my man Perry the other day. Think about it like this, right? And this is for Shavkat, this is for Ian Gary, this is for Prates, this is for Michael Morales, this is for all the young bulls like myself, right? Let Islam and Usman fight. Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Both of them are gonna leave, whether win or lose. If Islam wins, there's nothing else that he can do. He already submitted his name at light weight at 155, right? And established himself over his brother Habib. He became a double champ at 170, or what he wanted to do. And then he beats Kamaru Usman, who is considered one of the welterweight GOAT, right? No matter if people want to argue about that or not.
One of the GOATs for sure.
One of the GOATs for sure, right?
Definitely.
What else can Islam do? Nothing.
Yeah, not got that thing.
He can't top none of that, right? So you done it. Or Usman wins, right? He gets that belt. He said he's not gonna stay there. He's gonna move up to 185 and fight Hamzat in the second rematch, right? So what does that do, right? That vacates the title and gives two individuals an opportunity to fight for the belt. So instead of one person fighting for that motherfucker, you got two people getting a chance and opportunity. And as much as y'all want to fight whatever these great names, Islam or Usman, we already know that just because you beat the GOAT don't make you the GOAT. You're going to have to hold that belt down anyway. Now we got all of us, if we fight for that title, we have all great names that we can go up against, right? To really show that we're the greatest at this time and at this era. I'm cooking. I'm cooking.
Nah, I like that. I like that. Even though I don't want to see none of that, but that's still a good idea.
You don't want to see Usman and Islam?
Fuck nah. Hell no.
That's crazy.
No. And I want Usman to get it twisted. Like, I have a lot of respect for Kamaru Usman, especially for what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as far as we talking about welterweight GOATs, he's definitely in the conversation. I think GSP is clearly number one. Whatever after that, I just feel like if a lot of the people who might have Kamaru Usman as their GOAT really didn't watch the Hughes era and what he meant for the UFC at the time and why it was such a big deal when GSP beat him. And then Tyron, I feel like a lot of people didn't like how he did it while he was a champion, but his run in the welterweight division was very impressive as well. Mm-hmm. So for me, those are my top four in the welterweights all time. I think GSP is number one. However you argue it after that, whatever. But as far as going back to him fighting Islam, I don't see why I would want to see that fight.
It's the best fight to make stylistic for Islam.
It's the worst. No.
Besides myself, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Anybody besides myself go up against Islam.
No.
They can beat.
It's the worst fight for Islam.
Yes.
It's the worst. Kamaru Usman is the worst stylistic matchup for Islam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like it would probably be similar in some way or another to the Hamzat fight, as far as probably a lot of grappling. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I don't want to see it because I think it would be fun to watch, but I don't think it makes the most sense. That's all I'm saying. And Usman, like I said, he beat us, and that's cool. But at the same point in time, we have to look at your current resume, of what you did. I know for Dana that shit doesn't matter, but
that don't matter.
but for the fans and us, that's what we like to see. That's it. I think I'm speaking for a lot of people in that. So it's not hate. Respect to Kamaru Usman, one of the greatest of all time. He don't need to do a motherfucking thing to keep it. He's a Hall of Famer, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, respect. Tip my cap, all that. But that doesn't mean just because I respect things that you've done in the past and also the last fight being successful against us. I still don't think that, because my thing is this. What you had to do to get to that Usman fight, you were following a lot of momentum, being a lot of big name guys. You could have gotten a title shot off of that because of basically your current resume and then being a former champion, but he was coming off a skid. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think it carries the same weight. That's just me personally. But it is what it is. If they make that fight, they make that fight. So
no, go ahead. Hey, Dana, go ahead and make that fight, man. Go ahead and get them two guys out of there, because right now that's the only thing that's slowing down our division. I'm gonna keep it a bean. That's the only thing that's slowing us down.
I'm weak. Next week, what next week? What's today's date? What? I think it'll be the 19th. Excuse me. Saturday. We got one of the biggest social media versus real boxing fights of all time. We got Jake Paul taking on Anthony Joshua. We spoke about it before, but we're a week away. I'm kind of surprised we're here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of surprised that we're at this place. What did you think that Jake Paul would actually go through this fight? And do you feel like there's anything that we could be possibly missing from this matchup?
I knew it was possible. I definitely knew it was possible, man. This man has claimed to want to do a lot of different things and fight a lot of different people. And be honest with you, every fight that he wanted, he got, and he made it come to fruition. And even with this one now, with Anthony Joshua, but I'm still saying it, and I'm gonna still say it right now. This content shit that made him lose his mind. That boy done lost his mind because now, what you say, a week from now?
Yeah, I think it's next Saturday.
A week from now, we see that man die, and we put Jake Paul to rest for boxing. And but I appreciate Jake Paul for giving us all the memories and all the great content.
Oh,
and
you saying Jake Paul not finna be here, or you saying he just done boxing? I just want to clarify.
I think I said D-I-E, die.
He finna.
that man finna die in that ring. And look, there's been many souls that's been lost in boxing. So
absolutely,
it's been many souls, and he unfortunately has added to that count. And but I'm gonna be praying for Jake Paul that his soul get put to rest. And as we continue to look down on Jake Paul and all the things that he's done for boxing, his life and his sacrifice will not be wasted. We're gonna use all of this. Yes. And and he's gonna put boxing back on top. So Jake Paul, we thank you, Jake.
No, I think my thing is, and you said something I find to be interesting. You said Jake Paul got everything he really ever asked for. And I think that can be further from the truth. He's talking about he was going to box Canelo and, he was going to box this person. Every time he's really called out a real boxer, it's never really come to fruition. I mean, it's like kind of like online when, you see the trolls and people be talking crazy. They're like, oh, Buckley, this and that, or, insert your favorite fighter name and they say something wild. And then they actually get the response. I think Paul Felder talked about it. Somebody said, he said something crazy about him. Paul Felder was like, well, I whoop your ass. He was like, yeah, you would. My point in that is Jake is finally getting what he asked for, right? You're getting the most of what you asked for. You asked for a plate that was full. You got a very full plate. You got some reserves. You got lunch for tomorrow. You got dessert. You got a full fridge after this one, because not only did you get a legitimate boxer, you got a world champion and somebody who's actually a heavyweight in a larger weight class than what Jake's competing in. So he got everything he asked for in this one, but I don't think this is what he wanted. I really don't. I think with Tank falling out of the fight, you just call for something crazy and hopefully you're able to save the event, right? And then you get the worst possible opportunity. I mean, it's going to do numbers for sure, but you talk about DIE, it's possible. I think he gets lucky if he just gets knocked out, for real. Like, as far as him not sustaining any serious injuries from this, like, if I was him, this would probably be one and done. You know what I mean? Like,
ain't no coming back, bro. Ain't no coming back, bro. Unless your name Jesus, ain't no coming back. So with Jake Paul, you got to realize, man, he done a lot for boxing. He has grown boxing to absolute new heights.
Hold on.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, I have a question for you though.
Okay, that's fine. But Jake Paul has done ultimate things for boxing, man. When it shows these young boxers, at the end of the day, boy, you got to push yourself on. Right. And you got to put yourself in a position where you're not scared to get on camera and just tell it how it is or how you think it is. Right. And whether people love it or hate it, they paying attention, because that's one thing that a lot of guys, they've been lacking, and a lot of guys have been suffering. Right. And you see that they don't get the shots that is deserved. So yet again, you can learn a lot from Jake Paul, but I think this all comes to an end now.
No, but let me ask this question, because you said something that I find to be interesting. Do you feel like Jake Paul's done a lot for boxing, or he's shown a lack of respect for boxing? Because for me, just being an outsider, if somebody came into MMA and did what Jake Paul did, I don't feel like you would have the same respect for it. Because my thing
That's you. I'm different.
I said, I'm asking, if somebody Jake
I'm about to tell you.
Because the reason why I asked that is Jake has definitely grown his brand and has put on interesting fights, but I don't feel like the rest of boxing has benefited from his from his shows in boxing. Yes, people have gotten paid in one-offs, and yes, he has talked about advocating things for boxers and even MMA fighters. But imagine, Jake Paul reminds me of CM Punk a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, you gotta say more because I can't even put that relation together. CM Punk and Jake
My
Paul.
point being is there's some dude who really Stephen Shaw. Let's take him, right?
Yeah.
Who's been boxing. He
Actually, shout out to Stephen Shaw. Actually, shout out to Stephen Shaw. I'm gonna see you December 19th, man. Be out there at the sparring event at SCL Boxing Academy. Anyways, go ahead.
My point being is let's take somebody like him. He can't get a Ruiz. He can't get none of these guys. He a real boxer. You have somebody like Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Just because he got an event, he got a name.
Hold on. Keep going.
Yeah. Just because he has, you know, the name and the money and, you know, the backing behind him, he's able to fight these premier matchups. I feel like if you had somebody like this who could just step in here, you would not be like, oh, man, he doing a lot for the sport. You're like, man, I wish I could get that shit.
So I'm going to pause you right there. We already talked about it behind closed doors, right? But what are you doing besides fighting to get that shot? How are you marketing yourself? How are you branding yourself, right? How are you pushing for those opportunities, right? Because at the end of the day, you think I got these opportunities, nigga, because I was knocking motherfuckers out? No. I got my opportunities because I was calling motherfuckers out.
True.
And I was embarrassing them. And I was doing numbers on the internet. At the end of the day, it's a business. And that's what Jake Paul is showing. Because Jake Paul literally is a kid from Disney. An influencer, a TikToker, right? He was still learning on the job, quote unquote, right? When he was knocking out basketball players, knocking out MMA legends and stuff like that, right? And he wasn't ready to fight an actual boxer yet, right? Because he was still learning how to box. But as he's learning how to box, he's showing people on how to promote. You can make that. I don't know why you making that side. He learning how to box. You saying
no? Because you said something funny. No, you said something funny. You said
I say a lot of shit that's funny, but I don't know.
All the time.
I say a lot of shit. No, nigga, I say a lot of shit that's funny. I didn't say one thing that was funny on that.
Oh, you said a lot that was funny. I think Seattle made you
funny. Then
I think Seattle made you even funnier. You know. Anyway, you said one thing. You said it's a business, right?
It's a business.
No, but Jake Paul ain't got no business boxing Anthony Joshua. We know that. We not finna pretend he got any business boxing this man. No. I like what you did. I like what you said.
What I said. He gonna die. He gonna be a natural selection, a sacrifice given to the boxing guys, right? To put boxing back on top after he get knocked out, right? But all I'm saying is with that sacrifice, it will not be wasted because people should look at what Jake Paul has done in order to get where he was at. So boxers, if you upset about not getting the opportunity, look at what Jake Paul did and try to replicate that to put yourself in position because you're an actual fucking boxer and you can whoop on whoever that might be, right?
But you can't replicate that because he ain't beat nobody. You know, look, you talking about beating somebody. I'm talking about promoting yourself in a situation where you can get a fight that you want. Look, stay with me here. There has to be a marriage, right? Right? You have to have a marriage of things. Let's take somebody like Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett found himself in a lot of premier matchups. He's done good to market himself, being a personality, but he's also done his thing inside the cage. So am I mad at Paddy Pimblett for getting opportunities? Absolutely not. But for Jake Paul, he ain't done nothing to deserve this. All he has done has been a social media influencer, kid from Disney, all the shit you mentioned, having some backing around him, and now you get to fight these premier fighters, which is not warranted. That's not doing anything for boxing, in my opinion. That's doing something for him. Like that's
cool. All right, but you still missing what I'm saying. You can't tell me boxers can't learn from that.
They could definitely.
That's all I'm getting. That's all. When I say he has done something for boxing, in a general sense, you can't say that he hasn't helped the female boxing world. You can't say that. These girls getting paid now. You know what I'm saying? They want a little booty shorts and all that shit. That's cool, but at least they get money now.
No, I said the people on his shows, he's definitely done something for those. For those people, for sure. He's been paying people good money to be on his promotions and stuff like that.
Because my thing is, if that's the case, what you saying, what has boxing done for boxing? Oh, yeah, no, nigga. What has boxing, my nigga, done for the boxers that's in the sport? Not a goddamn thing. You even got Bud talking about, he just made his check. He got to pay $300K just to keep his belt? Shit like that? That gotta get put to an end, bro. Stuff like that gotta stop. So
No, I agree
boxing hasn't even done shit for boxing.
No, I like what you did there. I like that.
What you trying to say?
You got a little tricky with the words. What has boxing done for boxing lately? I like that. They ain't got shit to do with what I said. They ain't got a motherfucking thing to do with
Either
what
way,
I said.
Hey, you watching December 19th?
You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna watch. I really don't know.
Don't be like that, bro. Don't be like that, bro.
I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know if I want to see a nigga die. I really don't know if I want to see that. That's crazy. Like I'm not sure I actually want to see somebody get sacrificed. That I don't know, man, because this shit can only go one way.
You're wicked. Shit wicked out here.
This shit can only go one of two ways.
Hey, niggas die every day, B.
Yeah, I feel that. But my thing is this: this shit can go one of two ways. The first way, we see what we would likely to see: somebody getting laid out, and the paramedics, EMT, they cut the promotion. Both we see a blank screen because they don't want to put that on TV for legal issues or whatever, or we get played with, and I don't want that to happen either. Anthony Joshua go out there playing, he missing punches, he acting like he tired, and next thing you know, Jake Paul ended up winning. I'm gonna be hella mad. So
either way.
But I'm gonna watch that. I saw all that bullshit. Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
All right, man. Hey, matter of fact, also December 19th, before that, we got a sparring event that's happening at SEL Boxing Academy. Make sure y'all check out my TikTok, Booker Madar, to watch it live. I'm going to be sparring with my boy Stephen Shaw, a real boxer. Yeah, so I'm going to show y'all that we got these hands too. He's also a heavyweight boxer, and he's getting ready for one of his bouts. He hasn't announced it yet. Hopefully, he'll be able to announce it on the live, and y'all get the first, be the first ones to hear about it. But other than that, though, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited for December 19th. A lot going on, baby. A lot going on.
Next week, we'll be wrapping up for the end of the year. We'll be doing kind of a end of the year show as far as what we felt like what we've gotten right this year. What are the things, highlighting some amazing performances. Let us know some of the great performances. So who are the best knockouts? Who are your favorite fighters of the year? Leave those in the comment. Thank you for watching another episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. As always, like, share, subscribe, be a brick.